This episode of Life's a Garden is brought to you by inspiration. It's that little thing that drives you, keeps you moving, pushes you forward, motivates you, makes you want to be a better person and do great things. So grab yourself a little slice of inspiration and spread it on that biscuit you call your life. Then seek out to inspire others. It's inspiration that created this podcast, that brought us all the way to episode 31. So why don't you all grab your shovels? It's time to start digging life. Welcome back to Life's a Garden. It's episode 31. And welcome to the new year, guys. First episode solo in the new year. I am trying out my new microphone that my mother gave to me for Christmas. Shout out to my mom. Big turnout on her episode. She got a lot of views. We hit a ton of subscribers off that episode. Thank you to all of you who subscribed. Keep following, keep sharing, get the word out. We're going to grow this podcast this year. That's the goal. So, looking forward to big things coming in the new year for the Life's a Garden podcast. Trying out the new mic today. Hopefully, the sound quality is slightly better than what we're used to. Looking for, hopefully in a couple weeks, I'm looking into getting a new camera. So, that should be really nice to get going to. Hopefully by next week, if not next week, the week after. So I'm going to go tomorrow and start looking at some cameras, see if we can get something nice just to help boost the quality. It's all about moving forward. It's all about moving upward and onward and building this thing into just better and better and better. Hell yeah, man. Looking forward to this new year. We're off to a great start, guys. Did you see? Obviously, this is old news by now, but they stormed the Capitol. It was the Trump supporters' turn to get in on the action with all the rioting. So they felt left out. So they needed to make their mark and do their stunt. So we got to see that. I just can't get over the buffalo hat guy. You know what I mean? Like, of course, that's the guy everyone keeps seeing on all the memes and everything. I want to get that guy on the podcast. I feel like that guy's got a story. He's got a story to tell, and I want to be the guy that covers it. Of course, I do not approve. You know me. I'm not a political guy. I'm not a fan of the far right. I'm not a fan of the far left. And so any radicalism that like this, not a fan of it. I thought it was stupid. I thought just all of it's ridiculous. So it's no more or less ridiculous than the Chaz and Chop thing that happened in Seattle. The funny thing is seeing all my crazy left friends get so worked up, like, oh my God, this is disgusting. Oh, what a disgraceful act by the Trump supporters. And it's like, were you not around when all that stuff was going on in Seattle and Portland and LA and all the crazy riots and freaking Kenosha and all this and that? Granted, I'm not like motive, what have you. Rioting and looting and storming the Capitol, none of it's good. None of it's, I disapprove of all of it. So for anybody to sit here and say that this is disgusting and support that, you're foolish. Anybody who doesn't say anything about this and was just distraught over all that, you're an idiot. Like, come on, don't be a hypocrite. I've been saying it for a long time now. We're the Hippocratic state of America, or the Hippocratic Party of America is what you're all subscribed to. So get your head out of your ass and stop storming the Capitol. Where's Gerard Butler when you need him? Where's Morgan Freeman? Somebody get him out of there? Jesus. Let's see what's going on. Other than that, like I said, that's old news by now. But still worth bringing up. I had to make a dentist appointment. I just scheduled a dentist appointment. I was talking about that with my mom on the episode a couple episodes ago. But finally, after several years of dealing with this tooth, I'm going to get it pulled. So the next time you see me, I will be one tooth lighter. It's one of my back teeth here. So, okay, let me just run this down for you real quick. I legitimately have a fear of the dentist. This is not like, your casual person who's just like doesn't like going to the dentist because it sucks. Everyone knows going to the dentist sucks. If you're a person who likes going to the dentist, then you should probably see a psychiatrist, because I don't know anybody who does. Personally, I don't. I really fucking don't. And the reason for that is I have had some serious issues with the dentist. I've had 3 root canals, had my wisdom teeth taken out. That was an ordeal. I've had multiple fillings. When I was a kid, I had like several teeth pulled, and I had like a mouthful of silver. Just like, I've never had good experiences with the dentist. So for me to go to the dentist is just not an easy thing. I know, I'm an adult. I can handle it. It's not that big of a deal. That's why I'm doing it. I know it's time to get this taken care of. The story with this tooth. Okay, so I had this tooth. Was infected. It was giving me big issues. I had a root canal done on it. They did the root canal. If memory serves me right, I had the what do they call it? The temporary crown on there. And a few weeks went by and it was still infected. So they had to go in and do another, like, re-root canal it, like check everything, make sure they got everything out. Capped it off again. It still was having issues, so they sent me to a root canal specialist or something, I don't know what they call them. And he literally cut off the side of my gum to chop off the actual root, to chop the whole root off. So I'd have, I don't know, it's 3 or 4 roots on one of those back teeth. So now I'm down 1 root on those teeth. And then it seemed to be good. Okay, let me tell you this one too. When I went to that specialist, I think this was the second time. This was the second time I went to get the root canal done. They popped open that, they drilled into that tooth because there was so much pressure built up on that. I could just feel the pressure. There was no pain because the root had been taken out. There was no pain in that tooth. And they drilled into it, and all of a sudden I felt this immediate relief. And the dentist goes, hang on just 1 second. I need to go do something. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? And he comes back with 2 or 3 nurses. And he's ooh. They're just looking at it. And he takes a bunch of pictures. He showed me afterwards. My tooth was just filled with blood and pus. And so the second he opened that thing up, it just erupted like a volcano. And that's why the pressure was relieved. And then they did that the root surgery, all this stuff. After that, everything seemed to be fine. So I got the crown put on. If you don't know, crowns are $1,000. At least they were back then. I'm talking 5 years ago that this happened, maybe even more. 5 years sounds about right. I got the crown put on, and I had to pay out of my pocket because I didn't have Medicare anymore. So, and I didn't have any insurance. So I got this crown on, and then after a while it started. I mean, it's not as bad as it was, but I can feel on the side, on the gum, there's still a sort of abscess. There's a bump, and every now and again it'll flare back up. At first I was taking antibiotics for it, and it would chill out. And for the last 2 or 3 years, I've kind of just been coasting on it, and it'll flare up from time to time, and then it'll just, and I'll kind of get through it, And there's no pain, just so everyone's clear. There's no pain. It's just like I can feel it. And there's sometimes discomfort, and sometimes I can feel it like moving up in the gum. And I get so fucking paranoid, that there's still, obviously there's still some sort of infection in there. There obviously is. But my paranoia is, okay, how long before it moves to my other teeth? How long before it moves into my sinuses? How long before it moves up into my eye and I go blind? Or goes into my brain or into my heart and I die? Like, maybe that's just me being a super hypochondriac, but I just know the longer I wait, the more problems I'm going to have. And so the more and more, and it's starting to flare up again. That's the thing. It's flaring up again, and I'm getting paranoid, and I'm just done with it. I'm done with the headache and the stress of it all. And the main reason I wanted to keep it was because, I spent all that money on it, went through all that ordeal just to like have it pulled. I mean, I should have just got that done in the beginning. But it's time. I'm getting it done. I got some plans to get some more dental work done after that, so I'm going to get this taken care of, then I'm going to get consultation on some more stuff to get done, make my teeth look a little bit better. This is something I've been meaning to do for a long time, and I'm finally going through with it, so maybe this is the year that I get it all straightened out. I'm scheduled to get it done in a couple days, so here's hoping. I hate the dentist, man. I hate getting shots in the mouth. I hate everything about it. I don't even like getting my teeth cleaned at the dentist. Like, there's nothing enjoyable about it. And I like my dentist. My dentist is a real cool guy. So nothing against him. And I've had nothing but good dentists in the past. But I'm not looking forward to this. But it's something that's got to get done, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to muscle through and do it. See what else. Started watching Lord of the Rings. That was so it's on Hulu. All the movies are on Hulu. And I just thought to myself, I was like, all right, well, I want to rewatch these. I haven't seen them in 10 years, maybe less, but it's been a long time. So I wanted to watch it with, a newfound perspective, because, we change perspective every 5 to 10 years, every 5 years probably. I think our perspective changes pretty drastically over the course of 5 years. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna look at this through a new perspective. And I've only gotten through the first one. And I gotta tell you, great movies. Like the first one, at least, I think the story in the first one is a little like there's a lot thrown into it, and it's it's a 3-hour movie, and it still feels like they're just like throwing, it's just really crammed in until the end. It's basically just telling all the stuff you need to know for the next 2 movies is essentially what that movie is. And what a cast, man. Like, everybody kills it. Like, the casting is great. The characters, just everything. I love a lot of things about it. But there's one thing, and there's one person that I noticed this time around. And that is Elijah Woods is a god-awful actor. Terrible. And he's the lead. He's the lead. And he's the Hayden Christensen of the Lord of the Rings series. Horrible. Everybody else, I have no complaints about anybody else. Whoever plays the orcs, whoever plays the Uruk-hai, whoever plays, they got freaking Ian McKellen and the guy who plays Sauron. Why can't I think of his name? But great actors, man. Viggo Mortensen made his freaking career on that movie. You got Ned Stark. You got the cat who plays Sam. Like, just top-notch acting all around. And then you have Elijah Woods sitting here going, "Where will I go?" Hopefully to a fucking better acting coach. Boromir, you're not yourself. And then, like, there's the scene when Bilbo, like, freaks out at him. He's like, sees the ring and he's like, "Yeah!" Attacks him. And literally Elijah Woods just goes, Like, that's not a reaction. Your uncle, like the man who basically raised you, as far as I can tell, and like gave you his entire estate, just tried to attack you and turned into a monster, and the only thing you can do is, I'd be like that's not a reaction, man. Like, his acting is shit. And as far as I can remember, the character of Frodo is a piece of shit anyway, so it kind of works out. And I just know of a ton more stuff to come that, I'm going to watch The Two Towers tonight. But that guy's acting, man, is just second to dog shit. That's what I learned by watching it this time around. Rest of the series is good, though, or the rest of the stuff is good. Like, I'm thoroughly enjoying my rewatching of it. So we'll see how the Two Towers goes. If I remember right, like, I know for a fact that's my favorite movie of the trilogy. So I'm stoked to watch it. You got the Battle of Helm's Deep, like Gandalf the White. It's gonna be awesome. I just wanted to point out that Elijah Wood's acting is dog shit. Playoff football. Playoff football is coming up. I cannot wait, man. My team didn't make it, unfortunately. Broncos are looking for a new GM. That's interesting. So there's a few names out there that I'm curious to see, and I would like to see, but we're just gonna wait it out and kind of see. John Elway is taking a step back. He's still gonna be in the organization, but we're getting a GM to take over the football operations. And we'll see how that goes. I think it's the best form, the best action to be taken. Like, I'm glad Elway's going to be still in the system. I personally have never had issues with Elway, but I think it's time for somebody else to maybe take the reins and take control of drafting and contracts and all that stuff. So we'll see how things go. But Broncos they're done. So we're moving on to playoff football. And I'm really, really stoked. There's a lot of good teams, a lot of really good matchups this weekend. By the time this comes out, the first week of playoff football will be over. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to make any predictions on this weekend because, like I said, this episode's coming out after the fact. But I will make a prediction on the AFC and NFC championship games, okay? I've had a lot of time to think about this. And my selection for AFC champion, the AFC championship game, is going to be the Chiefs versus the Bills. I've been riding real high on the Bills lately. And the thing about playoffs in any sports, it's all about who's hot now. And the Bills are riding real hot, white hot. Josh Allen's killing, Stephon Diggs was the receiving, the number one receiver in the league as far as yardage goes. That offense is just clicking. And when it comes to the AFC, it's not about who can stop the Chiefs. It's about who can keep up with the Chiefs. And I think the Bills have the best chance of keeping up with the Chiefs. I think the Titans are another name to watch. They're getting kind of hot. Like, they've been hot right now. Derrick Henry's unstoppable. The dude hit 2,000 yards. It's incredible. He should probably be MVP, even though it'll probably be Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. But Derrick Henry's got my vote. So keep an eye out for the Titans. I have them taking on the Chiefs in the next round. But we'll see. I think the Chiefs, they're just not hot right now. And it's not necessarily that I don't think they can do it. It's just they're not the hot team right now. And yeah, they're 15-1. But they're just not hot right now. And it doesn't seem like they've really fallen off, but they haven't really jetpack propelled themselves. So we'll see. Like I said, it's all about who can keep up with them. And I think the Bills are the guys to do it. That's who I got. We'll see who wins that championship game. NFC championship game. I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Same reason. The Bucs are hot right now. That defense is really good. And they're being backed up by a rising offense. It took them a while to get clicking. And they're finally starting to get it. They have probably the best receiving group in the NFL and the best tight end group. Ronald Jones II is killing it. Like he's a very underrated running back. Plus, you're led by Tom Brady, clutch Tom in the playoffs. I'd love to see Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady in the playoffs or in the NFC Championship game. I would probably say keep an eye on the Saints to be the third name involved in all this. I think those are like the names that are going to be involved in that NFC Championship game. So we'll see how that all pans out. Those are my predictions for you. We'll have to look back on this and see how well I did. And if I'm gonna go even further and pick a Super Bowl, I got you with the Bills and the Bucks. That's who I'm taking, Bills and Bucks. Although it's real hard to vote against the Packers. They got a good team. I'm just gonna stick with my championship predictions, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Also in sports, Conor McGregor, my guy, he's coming back to face Dustin Poirier, who I also really like. I love Dustin Poirier, and I love Conor McGregor. But Conor's my guy. He always has been. I'm really looking forward to this fight. It's the first fight since Conor had with Donald Cerrone almost a year ago. And it'll be the first fight of the new year. What a way to start it. UFC. It's on Fight Island. Also, Michael Chandler might potentially be fighting Dan Hooker, which is a great matchup. Very much looking forward to that. Michael Chandler's debut. He came from Bellator, the number one free agent in MMA. So it'll be exciting to see his debut. Looking forward to that. Actually, I got a pretty funny story from the last time I saw a Conor fight. So this was back when we could actually go watch the fights in bars. In fact, it was probably the last fight I saw Izzy Adesanya fight Yoel Romero. That was the last one we saw in the bar. Oh no, it might have been. It wasn't this one, whatever it was, but this was one of the last ones. McGregor versus Cerrone. Cerrone's easily my second favorite fighter. Was really looking forward to this fight. So leading up to the fight, I'm getting super amped up. I love both guys. I'm just wanting a good fight. It was a day before the fight, okay? We were hanging out at Hooligans, my favorite bar. Make sure to go check them out. But Hooligans, my favorite bar. They used to put on all the fights until the pandemic hit, and now we can't show anything like that. It's bullshit. Hopefully that's changing soon. But we're sitting there. We got a big group. We're kind of just hanging out. I'm getting kind of shellacked. And they have all these posters all over the wall, right? So most places that show fights will promote the fights by putting out UFC posters with the two fighters and maybe the undercard, like the next big fights, whatever. You've seen them. You know what I'm talking about. The promotional posters, and they slap them up all over the bar. And keep in mind, this is the day before the fight. They've had these posters have been up all month, or however many weeks, and I tend, when it's a fight I'm really looking forward to, I'll take one of those posters and I'll bring it home. I put it up in the weight room. I got a ton of them in there. So and it just depends on the fight. If it's a fight, I've taken posters down after fights that I didn't expect to be good, and I was like, dude, that was so good, I'm taking this poster. And 90% of the posters I have are Conor posters. I've been doing this for years. Not just at Hooligans, but at other bars that I've been to. It's never been an issue. So I go to the bathroom, and I see, okay, so the bathroom's in a hallway, and there's a door, an employee-only door, and there's a poster of the Conor Cerrone fight. There's a poster on the door right next to the men's room. I go to the men's room. I'm taking a piss, and I just think to myself, I'm taking that poster. When I leave this bathroom, I'm gonna take that poster, roll it up, and just go back to my table. So that's exactly what I did. Walked out of the bathroom, start taking it down. I'm rolling it up, and I turn around just in time to see server, this female server, go into the. She saw me rolling it up, and she went into the bathroom. She must have been doing a bathroom check. I went and sat back down. She didn't say nothing at the time. About 3 minutes later, she comes up to me and says, "Hey, you need to give me that poster back." And I'm like, why? I mean, the fight's tomorrow. And she goes, well, we pay for those, right? Like, that costs us money. I'm like, what, 50 fucking cents for the Xerox? Here, I'll give you $1. I don't give a fuck. It's a poster. I want it. I didn't argue with her, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like, it's $1. And she goes, here's what she says to me. She goes, I'll make you a deal. If you come to the fights tomorrow, I'll make sure you get one of these posters. And I just like rolled my eyes and I'm like, okay. And I hand her the poster back. And I'm thinking, you don't think I'm coming to the fight? Like, I wouldn't steal the poster if I wasn't interested in seeing the fight. And I wouldn't be in this bar if I didn't like coming to this bar. You don't think I'm going to come watch the fight in my favorite bar? Whatever, take the poster. So she tried to put one over on me, and she put the poster on the women's bathroom door. Because I saw it over there. It wasn't on that door before, and now it was. It was the same poster I just took. About 10 minutes goes by, and I look over at the guy next to me, and I say, hey, I'm taking that poster. I'm getting that poster tonight. Like, I don't care. Because, the alcohol's kind of setting in, and I'm getting I'm feeling it. I'm feeling, like, a little rowdy, a little dangerous. And so I just waited for my moment. I just kind of felt it out. And it was a smart move by her. It was very strategic because, like, why would I want to take it down and potentially have, like, a woman open the door or have somebody be like, oh, excuse me, as I'm, like, fucking around with the women's bathroom door. It's smart. Not smart enough, though. And I told myself, I was like, I don't just want one of these posters. I want that one. I want the one that I had in my hands before. So I walked over, went to the bathroom, and like a goddamn ninja, I rolled that fucker up and shoved it up my ass. No, I'm just kidding. I rolled it up and put it up my sweatshirt. And nobody was none the wiser. I did wait till we were about to leave because I knew if she saw it missing again, she'd probably suspect it was me. But I rolled that fucker up, threw it up my sweatshirt, and I went back to the seat. And it's sitting in my weight room right now. And of course, I went back. Oh, check this out. This is even better. Went back to watch the fight the next night, like I said I would. Guess who was nowhere to be found? That server who was like, I'll make sure you get a poster. And guess what? There were still a fucking ton of posters. Now, granted, I could have just taken one down the day of, but I wanted it then. And I got it. So that's my story about the time I stole a poster for the Conor McGregor fight. And I would do it again. The last poster I took, I asked permission. So I'm getting better. But it's kind of exciting to just take it. Let's see what else. What else is new this week? Check this out. I made a little art project over the week. And I did it graphic design style. I have not done a graphic arts project in a while. It's funny, I was actually making it as a template so I could paint it. I wanted to paint this. And I liked it so much that I decided just to leave it as a graphics art project. And I went ahead and got it printed up on some canvas. And here it is right here. There she is. And if you're just listening to the audio, you're going to have to go to the video to check it out. Or you can check it out on my Instagram. I posted it on my Instagram. But I made it as a, what do you call it? Simplistic art. It's a simplistic art piece of all my favorite podcasters, my favorite comedy podcasters who basically inspired me to create this podcast. And so here they are. You got Brendan Schaub, Theo Vaughn, of course Joe Rogan, the master, Joey Diaz, Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura, my man Chris D'Elia, and Tim Dillon. So there they are, and I'm planning on putting it up on the back wall here. I want it to be, in the shot for the podcast, but I'm having kind of some issues with making it look good. So hopefully this will be back up in the background here for future podcasts. I would like that a lot. But yeah, so here's my piece. Everything on it is done for a specific reason. All the colors behind them are done specifically for a reason, and the placement where they're at, they're all. I had purpose behind everything. So I thought it turned out really, really well. I'm really, really happy with it. And so I went and got it printed up on a piece of canvas, and here she is. This is my latest art project that I did this week, and I was very pleased with how it turned out. So yeah, we'll have that hanging up in the back at some point. Hopefully it won't be next week. I'm having a guest on next week, but the next solo podcast, you'll see it up in the background. Okay. I wanted to bring this up too since I had that. Here's a hot take or a hot prediction that I have for the year 2021. Daddy D'Elia will be back in action. I don't know that I've heard no rumors. I have no forward knowledge of this. I just have a gut feeling right here in my heart. Chris D'Elia will be back podcasting, and I don't give a fuck if it's just on Patreon. I'll be on that. I'm gonna watch that. If I got to make multiple Patreons just to keep supporting the guy, I miss hearing that guy do podcasts so bad. And I mean, part of me is kind of thankful that he had to stop for a while, because I was in grave danger of just becoming Chris D'Elia, as we know from earlier episodes. I had a hard time kind of just evolving into him. So it gave me a little bit of a chance to make my own guy, to be myself on the podcast. And that's great. But it's time for him to come back. And I predict the year 2020, Chris D'Elia makes his comeback. He will be back podcasting. He will be back doing stand-up. And that's definitely a hope. And it's a prediction I have. So we'll see how that pans out. Got a lot of predictions this year, so I'm banking on some of them. Also, that Army of the Dead movie is going to fucking suck. The only reason I was going to watch that was because D'Elia was in it. And they axed him and reshot and recast and put a new guy in. Hey, guess what? I know he can't say it. I know Chris can't say it. I'm going to say it for him. I hope that guy that made that decision, whoever financed a reshoot, I hope it costs him so much fucking money. I hope they release the movie, and I hope it tanks. I hope the guy gets ruined. I hope he doesn't financially recover from that. He's a failure. His wife can't look him in the eyes. She divorces him. He's a destroyed man. I hope he just feels the utmost pain for doing that. And then afterwards, we want him to recover. Because that's what we're all about here at Life's a Garden. He figures out how to dig it. He figures out how to dig life again. And he comes back from the ashes. We don't wish ill will on anybody. Just a little bit of pain. We just want a little bit of pain. Okay? He rekindles things with his wife. Things all turn out well for him. But he needs to realize the error of his ways. He will find his way again. But first he needs to struggle. Just a little bit. We want a little bit of pain. And maybe he'll figure out next time not to fuck with Chris D'Elia. Today's local spotlight goes to Yellowstone CrossFit. It's the new year, and all the fatties are looking to shed the extra holiday weight. Or maybe you're already in shape, and all you want is a challenge. Well, go check out Yellowstone CrossFit. High-intensity training. Quick way to get in shape. Quick way to challenge yourself. I have made the commitment that this year I will be finally joining the Yellowstone CrossFit gym. I need a little time just to get back into shape, but I will do it. It's my sister's gym, and I am committed to supporting and getting the word out about it. So if you're looking for a CrossFit gym, Yellowstone CrossFit, located on 2701 Enterprise Avenue in Billings, Montana. Go check them out. You'll see me there. So let's get fit. So we kind of talked about it a little bit on the last episode with some New Year's resolutions and with things looking forward into the new year. I kind of want to get back on that track a little bit, talk a little bit more about that, get a little bit more specific. So my goals for the year 2021, I want to be in the best physical shape of my life. I've already started the diet. Now, I got to tell you, I am a goddamn idiot. So, for 2 months, as we know, 2 months, I was gorging myself on cookie and candy and just eating fast food, just eating horribly. Pizza, what have you. Like, I didn't care. I was eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And I noticed it. That's why I decided, okay, time to make a change. Now, here's where I fucked up. I decided, I'll just eat one meal a day. Like, for lunch, I was going to have my energy smoothie, which I've talked about in the past, like I've talked about on the podcast, but it's just like this like smoothie I make with strawberries and blueberries, and it's got like a supplement in it. It's an amino acid supplement. It's supposed to boost your immune system and give you some energy. Plus, I'd be getting all that nutrients. You know, I was just going to do the smoothie for lunch. And then for dinner, try and eat something a little healthier. Just watch the calorie intake and do it that way. Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, if you're anybody who's smart at all, you know why I fucked up and how this is a mistake. I didn't figure it out until I suffered from it. You can't go from eating all this shit to eating nothing. It'll fuck you up. And that's exactly what happened to me. I had a huge blood sugar drop, and I got really lightheaded, and I thought I was going to get sick, and it was just bad. So I ended up having to eat a piece of chocolate. I ended up having to I ate a little bit of something that day, and now for lunch I've been doing the smoothie plus a little something to eat. It was just stupid. My whole idea was that I was going to just stop eating and eat very, very little and then kind of build it back up, when I should have been working the other way. I should have been doing, just eat a little bit less, and then we'll go down to just one meal a day, and then we'll start building it back up. You got to go like that. You can't go boom. So, big mistake. Obviously, I'm fine, but that was kind of a scary moment. And then so yeah, I am true to the diet. I'm sticking to it. I've been drinking considerably less and doing cardio. I've been running, hitting the bike. Next month I'm going to get into some jiu-jitsu and probably hit up the Asia's gym. Going to try and get into shape for that, do the CrossFit. Just do something extra, and it's all about just getting into shape and losing a little bit of fat. Gain a little bit of muscle, just looking good. It's not about looking good as much as it's about feeling good. So that's my goal there. Obviously, I have goals for the podcast. I already talked about I want to get better equipment. Just start ramping up the production aspect of it. I want to obviously grow it all up as far as getting more subscribers, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger every month. And hopefully by the end of the year, right now we're sitting at over 50 subs on YouTube. I don't know how many, I can't see how many follows I have as far as the audio, but we're just looking to grow. I have no specific numbers in mind. It's just all about progression and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm not setting out any specific numbers. I'm just going to do what I can to help launch this thing. So that's the goal there. The band, of course, we want to play more shows. We're already looking into getting some merch. You'll be the first to know as soon as we get some band merch. Yeah, we got a lot of goals for the band this year. And yeah, so we'll see how all that goes. Those are my personal goals. I also want to, again, I can't stress enough, please, make goals for yourself. Set out to just be better, to be a better human, whatever that is. Last year, I told myself I want to educate myself more. And by doing that, I got into podcasting. I listened to Joe Rogan. I learned a lot. And then, of course, I branched out and listened to a bunch of other podcasts. And then that helped create this. So that's another thing, okay? Another thing I want to say, get into a hobby, you know? Find yourself a hobby and stick to it. Whatever it is, like, even if you think it's crazy, like, if it's something you enjoy, just try it. Just try it out. Like this, the podcast. This was nothing more than it is a hobby. But it's turning into something. Like, I can feel it, it's building. And it's becoming something. I enjoy doing it. Hey, maybe someday I'll make money on it. Who knows? And if I don't, I enjoy doing it. It gives me, like, purpose in life. It gives me something to look forward to in life. Same with the band. Right now, the band is nothing more than a hobby. It's something that we enjoy doing. We don't make a living on it. Hopefully, someday we do. That's always the end game. But if we don't, hey, I enjoy doing it. It gives me purpose. It gives me something to look forward to. I want you to find that, whatever it may be. If you want to watch all the fucking movies in the world, do it. That gives you something to do. It's not productive, really. It's not like you're not really contributing anything, but you don't need to. I just want you to do something that will help give you something to look forward to. And who knows, maybe you'll find something that you like this, something that you enjoy doing that can give to others. That can give, like, at least this gives entertainment to others. Same with the band. It gives entertainment to other people. You know, that's something I like to do. I like to create something that, and like my art, you know, it's like I like to create something that gives something to people. Whether that's inspiration or just entertainment in general. See if you can't find something that you can do that with. I was thinking about this the other day. Literally, everything Joe Rogan does and makes fucking killer money doing all started with a hobby. He is successful because the things he does are the things that he started out with as a hobby. Comedy. UFC. The podcast. None of that was meant to be a career. He started doing MMA because he enjoyed MMA. He enjoyed doing that. And then he got into the commentary aspect of it, and now he's got a job doing it. He started off as a ring announcer. He was just doing that for fun. He didn't think that was going to be a job somewhere down the road. Podcast. He just did that for fun. And now it's the biggest podcast in the world. Comedy. It's just like being in a band. You don't start off, it's just a hobby. It's just something you enjoy doing. And then when you become better at it, you can make a living doing it. That's another thing. Don't quit. You know, you can't quit. It's like this. Do you know how many times I thought about hanging it up and just being like, what's the use? But I like doing this. And if I don't make a single cent ever doing this, whatever, man. I'm not going to stop doing it because who knows? Maybe somewhere, if I have 500 episodes someday, maybe episode 62, who knows? Or some random episode. Maybe one of my episodes I've already done. Maybe I say something in that episode that reaches somebody, that changes somebody's life. Or, I had the episode where I talked about suicide. maybe somebody, the right person, hears that episode one day and it fucking saves their life. Who knows? Maybe this talk right here. Maybe somebody's listening to it right now. Or maybe somebody listens to it, a year from now. And it inspires them to do something with their life. That's all I need out of this. This is for me, man. This isn't for anybody else. I'm not trying to make money. I'm not trying to do any of that. If I do, that's great. I would love that more than anything. But if I don't, hey, just the fact that maybe I make you laugh, maybe I give you something like that. Maybe it just takes you away for an hour from your workday. Just give you a little bit of entertainment. That's all I need out of this. Find yourself a hobby and don't quit on it. Give it some time. And who knows, maybe and you don't start a hobby that you don't enjoy. You know what I mean? I don't want you to pick up something that you think might be interesting. I want you to pick up something that you know is interesting, but you've never had the fucking guts to do it. And if you need any other motivation to go out and do it, how about this? Don't be a fucking loser. Don't be a loser. That's all the motivation you need. Because if you don't even have the guts to just do something you enjoy, I'm not gonna, I guess you wouldn't necessarily be a loser, but I mean, come on, man. I don't know. You're a loser in you're not a loser to me, but you're a loser to you. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do what you enjoy, I mean, don't you feel like a loser? I know I do. If I can't succeed in the things that I enjoy and even just have the courage to try it, I feel like a loser. Don't be a loser. Also, no excuses. There's no excuse for you to not pursue something. It doesn't have to be a hobby. But I highly recommend you do get a hobby. But it could be goals. I want to stop smoking. I want to start working out. I want to save up for a trip. I want to save up for a car. I want to, do this. I want to do that. Goals. There's no excuse for not getting your goals. I don't care what it is. You can sit here and say, oh, my job doesn't pay better. Get a better job. There's jobs all over the place. Oh, I don't have a job. They cut my job. Find another job. There's fucking girls selling their fucking titties on OnlyFans. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying there's options. There's always options. So I can't stand victim mentality where people think everything else it's never their fault. It's it's always something else. It's always, it's not my fault that I am not motivated, or it's not my fault that I don't have a good job. Well, kind of is, because you can quit. Or you can, learn a skill. If you want to have a better job, go learn a skill that you can use to make more money. Oh, I don't have the time. I have a kid. Hey, if you fucking want it bad enough, you'll make the goddamn time. I'm telling you. You'll find a way. That's what people do who are successful, who aren't losers. They find a way. Whatever the circumstance is. I get it. I have some extra time in my life. I have some extra cash to spend. But guess what? It wasn't. You think it was always that way? No. You have to build and to get to that level, man. I didn't always have a little bit, a little extra cash to spend. But guess what? I put my nose to the fucking grindstone. I saved up. I was frugal. And now look. And now I'm where I'm at. I worked hard, and I got raises. And now I make real good money. But you have to stay motivated. You have to. You can't let the victim mentality take over. It's not somebody else's fault. It never is. And it's not necessarily your fault, but it's not somebody else's fault. You just have to have the motivation and the discipline to do it. It's like that fucking Shia LaBeouf meme. Just do it. For real, though. Just fucking do it. Don't be a loser. Be a winner. Who do you think by you not fulfilling your dreams, or for you to not try and set out and actually achieve your goals, do you think that makes you a winner? No. Who doesn't want to be a winner? Couldn't tell you. I think everybody wants to be a winner. Be a winner. Get out and do it. Yeah, I mean, you are the master of your own universe. Bottom line. If you, like, for real, like, if I wanted to, there's nothing I couldn't do. Like, if I wanted to go to Vegas tomorrow, I'll fucking hop on a plane. I can do that. I have the ability to do that. If I wanted to go to Denver, I hop in my truck, load up a fucking bag, hop in my truck, and go. It's not like I can't do it. I can physically do it. I can financially do it. Now, I get it. Some of you might be sitting there saying, oh, well, my car's not good. Okay. Now, that's something you need to work on. That's something that so let's start there. Make the steps to getting yourself a better vehicle or fixing your vehicle so that you can make that trip. Start there. You want to make that trip? Let's start by fixing that car. Oh, well, I don't have the money to fix the vehicle or go on the trip. Hey, now we got something else to look forward to, something else to work on. Let's save some money. Maybe don't go to the bar every other night. Maybe you stay in a couple nights. Maybe you put in a couple extra hours at the office. Get a little extra cash. If you want it, you'll go fucking do it. Bottom line. So now we got that extra cash. We've saved up. We've put more time into going and cashing a check and not spending it at the casino and not going out and getting drunk. We've chilled at home for a little while. We built up some funds. We fixed the car. Hey, guess what? We can take that trip now. You are the master of your own universe. You can decide your fate. There's nothing anybody can do to stop you. Believe it or not, whether you think so or not, because I know you, or I don't know you, but I can tell. Some of you out there are sitting here just thinking of reasons why you can't do things. I'm sitting here saying that you can do it. And I'm sitting here saying you're the master of your own universe. Nothing can stop you. And all you can do is sit here and think of all the things that stand in your way. Well, guess what? Time to knock those things down. Whatever those things are that you're thinking about that are standing in your way from achieving happiness or achieving your goals, hey, that's your goal right there. Knock down those blocks. Knock down those barriers. And find a way to get done what you want to get done. It is possible. I'm telling you that right now. You're the master of your own universe. Okay? Don't be a loser. Be a winner. Rant done. Like I said, man, if I can motivate somebody, even just one person, whether it's, and I'm not always serious. Sometimes I'm goofy. Sometimes I just like to tell a story and entertain you, and hopefully, you get a little something out of it. That one, I hope, kicks you in the ass and gets you moving. Whether it's beginning of the year, or maybe you listen to this episode, well after it's done. Doesn't matter. The message is still the same. The message will always be the same. So, hopefully that can just motivate somebody and get somebody up off their ass and you get moving. Because you ain't going to get anywhere standing still. And that's the truth. Let me see. What do we want to close on? That might be good enough, huh? Thought about closing on something else, but let me take a quick look at my my notes. See if there was anything else I might want to bring up. Well, this will be a good one. Rather than ending on yelling at you guys, I'll end with a quick one here. So, it was a while ago. I was watching the show Waiting. And for anybody who doesn't know, if I haven't brought this up before, I used to serve at Olive Garden. I was a busser first, and then I became a server, and then I was a bartender. So, worked there for 5 years, and then I watched the show Waiting a couple months ago, I think. I'd seen it before, but this is the first time I'd seen it after having done the job. And they nail it on the head. You know, it's exact. Like, if you watch the show Waiting, if you've never been a server, hey, that's what it's like. So many different things. It was just flooding memories back. And the other night, actually, I was out having dinner, and I'm just, like, watching the servers, and, like, I don't know. It's not like I always do this, but this particular time, I was just watching the whole process, the hostess, the busser, the server, all the interactions, everything they said, and I kind of missed it for a second there. I was like, damn, there's something about that I miss as far as, like, the routine of it. I was starting to think of all these different things that we used to do, and just all the different, like, processes that we went through. And I thought about it, and I was like, man, if I went back and did that, I would be a lot better than I was. Because by the end, I was getting burned out. And I just think I've, grown as a person anyway, and I just have better skills that might set me up for that. I don't know. So, it was just a cool feeling. And the biggest thing, of course, that I miss is the people. Just everybody I worked with, managers even, as much as they get on my nerves sometimes. I do miss them. And I met a lot of really, really cool people through there. Some of my best friends I've met through there. So I owe that place a lot as far as that goes. And then, and I was thinking about the fact that, I don't go there because I spent 5 years of my life there. So I don't go and eat there. But I think I'm gonna stop in there sometime here soon. Stop in, say hi to everybody, and yeah. So it was just fun reminiscing about an old job and all that. So I think that ought to do it, huh? So yeah, just stay motivated, guys. Be inspired. Inspire others. Find yourself a hobby. Don't quit on it. Stick to it. Find yourself a goal. Don't quit on it. Be a winner. Don't be a loser. Okay? Because in the end, I mean, you're the master of your own universe. You can control whatever is in your life. So, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow on Apple Podcast, follow on Spotify, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please invite your friends, share if you enjoyed this episode, and share the podcast in general if you just enjoy the podcast. Make sure to go check out my band, Cutthroat. Make sure to like the page on there. We got big things coming soon. And got another podcast coming out soon too, so stay tuned for that. Later on down in the year, got a lot of exciting stuff coming with that. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, whatever have you. And be good to yourselves, guys. Stay motivated, stay inspirational, and don't ever forget, life's a garden. Dig it.